Aides to Lee, a conservative Republican and close ally of Cruz, were not immediately available for comment. Politico reported that Cruz complained that the latest Obamacare repeal bill did not address his concerns about bringing down the costs of health care. Collins, who just 2 days ago said she was leaning against the legislation, on Sunday declared in an interview on CNN's State of the Union, "It is very difficult for me to envision a scenario where I would end up voting for this bill." Collins said her concerns centered on the impact the legislation would have on the federal Medicaid program, which helps disabled children and low-income elderly people get health care. Trump and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell can afford to lose the support of only 2 Republicans, assuming all Democrats vote against the measure to repeal and replace Obamacare. Last week, Senator John McCain, who was one of 3 Republicans voting in July against an earlier version of Obamacare repeal, joined Senator Rand Paul in opposition. The Senate faces a September 30 deadline for deciding on the bill under an expiring rule that lets the health care proposal pass with just a simple majority, instead of the 60-vote threshold needed for most legislation. Paul, interviewed on NBC's Meet the Press, attacked the centerpiece of the Republican bill that would have the federal government basically turn the health insurance system over to states in the form of block grants. "They could remove the block grants from it, and we can vote on what we actually agree on," Paul said. "I can't in good conscience vote to keep all the spending." Despite the odds against fulfilling their 7-year drive to kill Obamacare, some key Senate Republicans were pushing to forge ahead. Senator Lindsey Graham, who is leading the charge on the latest version of Obamacare repeal, told ABC he believed he will have the votes to pass the legislation. "The only way you know how people will vote is you have the vote," he said. But Graham did not detail the path he sees to victory.